Hello walkers, and welcome back to Missoula, Montana. I'm Henry. I will be your proxy walker, your virtual travel guide today as we explore Missoula in the summertime. I've been here and done a couple winter walks and one autumn walk, or two autumn walks I guess, and now we're back in the summer. It's June. It is about 3 o'clock. Ooh, there's a tanager in that tree you can't see. 3:25 I'd say. And it's about 75 degrees Fahrenheit. I think that's 24 degrees Celsius, 23, I'm not sure. And we're looking out over the University of Missoula campus right now. Off to the left is the Bitterroot Valley. Off to the right is the Clark Fork Valley. And further right, we pan over, we see downtown there in the distance. And then we see Interstate 90. That little ravine is I believe that's the Rattlesnake. And then to the right, the Clark is upstream to the Clark's Fork and the Blackfoot River. We are on the M Hill Trail. We're not going all the way up to the top because I didn't really want to do that. It's pretty steep, but also I'm running out of time. I've been doing several walks today, including a wonderful live stream this morning. And I want to get back to, I don't want to spend all time these big upper wide angle views. You can see the bridge over the Clark Fork down there. And the stadium down here, the University of Montana Grizzlies. And we're actually going to go down and cross the Clark Fork over there and then work our way back downtown. What else to say? It's a beautiful, beautiful day. I think this is arrow leaf balsam root, the yellow flower. Hi there. And some lupin, that purple lavender flower. Absolutely beautiful. And all of a sudden I feel like I might be getting a blister. A lot of walking today, a lot of steps. Here's a little happy little dog. So we're gonna make our way down here, past the stadium, and then we're going to cross the river, as I mentioned. How you doing?
Good. I told him on YouTube.
Yeah, city walks, yeah. I'd like to pretend like they knew who I was, but they don't, which is probably better. Look at this, how steep this hill is. Hi there. I'm showing you the hill because, hi there.
Hi.
Hi there. I don't want to show the kids without parents' permission. It's kind of a rule I try to follow as best I can. The rest of you are on your own. Beautiful views out here. I remember, so I didn't grow up, I lived when I was about 1 year old. We moved out to Missoula, up that valley, I believe. And I have distinct memories. We moved out to a little town called Ovando, which is over towards, it's in the direction of Great Falls, which we're gonna film in a couple weeks. Little town, and I have distinct memories. What is that bird? That's a little sparrow of some sort. Of coming up to this field house, the sort of arched building over there, and going to a circus. My mom took us, and it was an awesome memory. I know, hi there. I know circuses are not really as popular as they were or as accepted as they were, but as a kid it was fun. And I even remember getting a balloon that had, if I recall correctly, it looked like it had a Mickey Mouse shaped balloon inside a clear balloon. And I just loved that thing. And, you know, and it lasted all of an hour maybe, but it was fun. It's funny how those kind of memories stick with us. And I can tell you one thing we didn't do when I was that age was hike this trail. I heard that bird singing, and I called it a sparrow. I have no idea if it actually was. I'm guessing. So if you have a better answer for what it was, please let me know in the comments section. I do read all of your comments that YouTube lets through. There's a bit of an issue where they seem to take them out, some of them, randomly. But I read all the ones they show me. Lovely little garden over here, and then to the left is also a little stage. Some bathrooms here, some parking, and you can go see the Grizz play football. Of course, they've had a lot of controversy and a lot of issues with their football and basketball program. John Krakauer wrote a book about it, and I'll leave the rest of that to your Google talents. It says the Washington Grizzly Stadium. That is not a reference to the state, I believe. I believe it's a reference to the Washington company, who is owned by a Montanan, and I think they do construction and engineering projects, large-scale landscape engineering projects, and worth billions of dollars here in Bozeman, I think off of Reserve. And I believe they've given quite a bit of money to the stadium, to the university. So good on you. Although, if you've watched these, and I've walked across campuses before, you know my personal opinions on that. So, I'll leave it at that. This breeze is so nice, and the temperature is just almost perfect, especially when I get out of the sun or the clouds come over, like now. It's really nice. So we're going to come down here, go across the front of the stadium, or the west side of the stadium at least, in the athletic complex, and go across the Clark Fork to, I think it's Broadway, and we'll make a left from there downtown. I've done that before in other seasons, so we'll see if we can mix it up a little bit this time. I'll share with you some more of my childhood memories, as I'm sure you're fascinated by. That's where we used to come into town, down there. It's like a child care, play school, what do you call that? Child care, preschool, kindergarten kind of place. Children garden. It's like an old furnace. I kind of wonder if it's a grill of some sort, barbecue, or if it's a kiln maybe? Ah, it's a kiln, that's what it is. See some ceramics on the wall here. Fun. Peekaboo over the lid. Alrighty. Probably shouldn't be walking on the grass. There's the U of M Arts box office, a bunch of theater space up there. Sorry for the wind noise. I've done what I can. Hi there. The car had a big bike in the back, mountain bike in the back. I love seeing people out biking. It's kind of something I've been trying to get into as I get in my body in shape and try to find the time to get out. My wife, Treadmill, bought me a bike a couple years ago. I tried to use it more some last summer, but time and heat, I guess, I let that get the better of me. Neat, interesting vertical axis wind turbine there. We're coming up on the footbridge across the Clark Fork River, and it's blown out right now, high water due to runoff. Had a couple of 90 degree days. It's really pounding the snowpack, which is normal. Seems a little early for 90, but that's okay. A lot of variable weather. So we've been on Van Buren. This is campus that goes down there, and then we've got some athletic fields over here. Rugby, football, soccer. American football, for those of you in other places. I think that's pretty well known now, the whole American football versus European football. I probably don't need to say that, call that out. What I will call out are these awesome bike paths on both sides of the river. I think the one on this side actually goes all the way through the canyon. Got some bicyclists behind me for several miles, and which I think is awesome. So you can see the canyon up there. And I think it goes all the way around that bend out the other side to East Missoula, which is another little town. So that's cool. And then I think there's another one on the other side. The L is for Our Lady of something, I believe. I should look at, if you look at my other, if you look at my last Missoula video, I sort of put that out, crowdsourced it, had several responses, and then I can't recall it in the moment. This is the Rattlesnake Creek Dam that got removed. Jacobs Island Park here with some footpaths and bike paths. So I'm going to tell you a little bit as we get up here on this bridge. Another great bicyclists. I like those panniers. They are waterproof, and I'm trying to remember the name of them. I'm so bad with names and titles and stuff. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. Of course, the trend to put locks on the bridge. Love locks. It's a cool bridge. Great resource for the community to get across the river here. You can see you wouldn't want to do it on foot. That's one of the hotels along the river. There's another one further down. I didn't notice that bike bridge underneath the traffic bridge before. That's pretty cool. Comfort Inn up this way, and you can hear the traffic in the distance. Beautiful.
Hey.
Talking to their dog, not me. Can see this is this Van Buren exit of I-90. If you're looking to come this way, off to the right is a shopping center with a couple little fast food places and I think it's an Albertsons. Now, I was gonna share some childhood memories, and so I am, and I know it's a little selfish of me, but nevertheless, we used to come in from that direction to get groceries and stuff when we lived out in Missoula, or outside of Missoula on a ranch out there. And we would come into a grocery store that was called Buttrey's at the time. It was, I think, a Montana-based grocery store chain. Oh, check out this cool bike. Gas-powered with a nice trailer. Awesome. And somewhere in here, I think it might have been over here, was this sort of fast food place called the All-American. All-American or the Great American? Anyway, they'd serve burgers and fries and that sort of thing. It's kind of a diner-esque looking place. And we'd go in there and get food. And what I loved about it was they'd give me this little, I think there's a kind of an offensive name, but it's a sort of a hat they used to wear in diners and that sort of thing in the 50s and 60s. And it was sort of a retro style. This was in the 70s, I think, and 80s. Oh, there's even a Starbucks in here. That's crazy. Yeah, it's an Albertsons. Got a fly shop over there. And the reason I'm actually coming over this way is I want to see this truck. It's kind of an old, classic, old, almost hot-rodded looking truck. Very cool. Keg fuel thing, snub-nosed. That's sweet. It's for sale too. $37,000. Pass. And this is Broadway out here. So I just wanted to look at that truck and see it. Looks cool. But we're gonna come down here to Front Street and walk down that way, even though we're in the middle of the wind. Try not to get run over. I think it might have been in that building, that restaurant I was talking about. Anyway, 42 years ago, something like that. It's a long time to remember. Ooh, Big Sky Bikes. I haven't called them about getting a bike. I'm looking for 2 bikes to replace a borrowed bike and a new bike for my wife. And this is not the year to shop for a bike. They are in high demand and low supply. But I could try Big Sky Bikes. You might have something for me. Looking for a Rock Hopper 29 Sport in a large and an extra large, if you have any leads. There's Jackson in Front Street. I'm not actually serious about that. I don't want you to send me leads, but thank you. Surprising how quiet it is back here. We're about to pass over Rattlesnake. I think this is Rattlesnake Creek. Could be wrong. It's gushing though. Look at that. That's fun. It's going to be interesting getting across this road up here. This is the Doubletree Hotel, I guess. The wind blew something into my eye. Madison. We'll see if I can get across Madison. It's quite the thoroughfare. I think I'm going to go across the light. Back to Broadway. Wow, a lot of traffic today. Cute dog across the way. Here we go. And now we'll go back to Front Street. These people were braver than I am down there. Oh well. You can see where we started off in the distance there. You see the smokestack. So that's the first bend in the switchbacks. That's only as high as we went. So we've actually covered a lot of ground in the last 25 minutes. Oop. Again, it's amazing how quickly the street gets quiet and calm. Look at this ornate house over here. Oh my gosh, that must be a beast to paint and to build. Love it though, very cool. We're on Front Street. Gonna cross Parsons. Off to our left again would be the river. And off to the right is the library. Brand new, beautiful, not brand new, but pretty new. Beautiful building, beautiful facility. I think libraries are really underrated. We go through a lot of books in our house with the four of us, and we use e-readers, and having access to a digital library is so great. But then also, my oldest son loves to go into the library and just peruse their maps, peruse their books. I used to love that too. It was such a fun thing to go in and look through the books and try and find a good one, or a good 5 or 6, take them home for the week or 2 in the summer. And when it was too hot to play outside, this was in North Carolina, we would read books, and then at night we would read books. It was great. So I think this building here is fairly new. It's got a couple restaurants. Looks like a parking garage, apartments, and Wally and Buck grass-fed burgers and pizza, and something called Rome. We'll see what that is. I'm wearing this shirt that I like, but it seems to all of a sudden realize it makes a lot of noise with the backpack rubbing against it. Right. Student living, that's pretty cool. I have a buddy that did some commercial development with student living, student-centered housing. Can be tough to find something that's affordable as a student. So this specialized housing, I'm going to pan around. You can see it. Looks pretty nice. Of course, I don't know what the inside looks like. I'm sure it's fine. I think a block down is the Holiday Inn, where we've stayed several times. Pretty nice. Coming up here on the left is the Dram Shop. Somewhere down here was a restaurant. It was absolutely fantastic.
But last time we got this.
I think it might have been the Pearl Cafe. It was great. Looks like they are no longer in business though. Tram shop. Looks like a good place to hang out as I talk over the movie or the music being played into the public space again. Constantly talking to not get a copyright strike. And we're done. The BPOE over there across the way. Somebody's cooking something delicious. Here is a market on front. We had breakfast there a couple times. It's pretty good. Oh, and there's the wind. Slapping my straps around. This is Patti Street. It's a pretty interesting building, the BPOE. Hellgate Elks. And we're coming up on Higgins, where we are going to make a right and head north. We'll get a glimpse of the Wilma Theater to our left, a classic old music and film venue. And I don't know, I think it's apartments above, but I'm not really sure. It's kind of neat deco building across the way, a couple good restaurants in there. So if we look to our left, you can see the Wilma down there, that big tall building. Give you a look at that. There. I get a lot of looks with the camera. It's kind of, I'll let you see, you can tell what it looks like there. It's a bit of a rig, and I think people tend to get a little chuckle, a little curious, a little chuckle. This person just putting stuff to YouTube. But I love doing it, and I love the reaction I get from you guys. I love the responses and the questions and comments. It's a lot of fun for me. If you're going to visit Missoula, here's the visitor center, the corner of Main and Higgins. You can get some swag and information, I think, would be my guess. Destination Missoula. Main Street that way. Had someone say that they'd like for me to show these streets as I pass, so I apologize if the pans are a little too quick. I tend to forget about that. Pushing, well, we're a little after 4 o'clock. So Higgins is kind of one of the primary roads in Missoula. Another one being Reserve, I think maybe Orange. Beautiful day here in Montana. Coming back up to Broadway. So you can look down, sorry about the angle there, Broadway, that's east, and we'll pan here, and you'll see west. The pink elephant is in really classic old building. Looks like ironwork up at the top, although maybe it's just painted stonework. We're about to cross here. Don't fret. So I covered some of this in my last walk heading the other direction. So keep an eye out for that. Or go back and find it. Shouldn't be too hard. There's another look at my whole get up in the reflection. There's a bike shop down here. You can barely see it there. This is Plonk. I believe the original Plonk, which looks almost exactly the same, was in Bozeman. Can't guarantee that. Across the way is the Oxford. Looks like the downtown has gotten a bit of a paint job. A lot of these buildings look like they've been spruced up a little bit, which is great. Coming up on Pine Street. Down to the left. And better push the button here. Wait. Oh, we don't have to wait. Off to the east again. Things have calmed down about an hour and a half ago, 2 hours ago. It's pretty much hopping down here. It was closer to lunchtime, I think. Looks like it's a co-working space that I haven't noticed before, I haven't seen before. MSLA co-working, bike and type. Being in the past, having traveled quite a bit. Oh, I love that bike. It's nice to find co-working spaces where I could sit down and edit or do some uploading, that sort of thing. Especially ones that you can do a hot seat by the day. This is the Break Espresso Cafe and Bakery. Some nice coffee and pastries in there. Coming up on Spruce Street. Across the way is Warden's Beer and Wine Market and Deli. It's a great place to get sandwiches. Kitty Corner is the Iron Horse Brew Pub, I think is what it is. I think it's a brew pub. And that's a good place to grab a bite and a pint if you're into that sort of thing, which I am, but I don't have time to do that today, unfortunately. I'm going to show you to the right of Spruce, and I'm just going to go because, you know what? Why not? Won't cost anything. And of course, as soon as I cross, it turns green. Some neat old buildings all the way across the street here. I don't know what those are. It's a sort of a junk shop, curiosity shop. And something called the Pie Hole, which I have to suspect is either a pizza shop or a pie shop. And I guess it's a pizza place. It smells delicious. And then we're coming up on the old depot, train depot. And there is a neighborhood across the way that I'd kind of like to check out sometime. I don't think I've ever been over there. Looks pretty interesting. This is Alder off to the left here. And then to the right, you can see an old steam engine, Iron Horse. And we'll cross, we're gonna cross here, because why not? We can, crosswalk. And then we're gonna cross back over to the depot. I want to thank you guys for joining us today on this somewhat shorter walk. I've been doing longer walks lately. A lot of them are over an hour. My previous walk was over an hour. Walk before that was over an hour. And the live stream this morning from Helena was over an hour. Check us out. Keep looking around for our premieres if you want to chat, or our live streams where I get to answer your questions in real time. And comments, subscribe, like the video, all that fun stuff. But mainly, take care of yourselves and each other, as well as come back next time. Ooh, 2 Labrador Retrievers, I do like that. We'll see you again soon. I'm not sure where the next walk will be, possibly Butte, possibly somewhere else. But in either case, we'll see you again soon. Until then, keep on stepping.